Ah, not bad.
I was often wandering in hidden arbors, galumphing in the marshes or the foliage of wanderers' forbidden gardens. It was a day like any other in the spring of May that I came across the thing I couldn't speak of till today. But now that my hours have become so clearly numbered, I've decided on this is my only haunting here to conquer. I no longer dread the sweet oblivion of death, since it is the only cure to treat the ringing in my head. As I said, in my youthful years of wanderlust, I crossed many lush and leafy glades as any author does. I particularly like vehicular exploring, so I drove in the thicket till the chickens crowed the morning. I awoke by a grove entirely unknown to me, with a quiet air like a giant dome hung over me. I got out the car, perked my ears and listened to the birds that were meant to chirp, weirdly missing. I was struck by an eerie sense of stillness and felt queer, not from any weariness or illness. Then I began to hear a babbling brook, so I abandoned my ride and had to travel the woods. There was something odd about the song of the water, like an invitation from a king onto a pauper. How I must add emphasis to its wordless allure. It was mystical, somehow both firm and demure. I arrived at the brook and I laid on the rocks like I had as a lad when I played at the docks. I worked up the legs of my pants to my knees and I walked in the water. I danced with the trees. Some primal shamanistic rite I couldn't reproduce enacted itself through me in those godforsaken dreamy moves. In a violation of what sanity deems possible, the water stopped running, but the sound of it still calling full. Now a whirling maelstrom of blaspheming whisperings. The brook boiled and my feet and hands started blistering. I stepped away in pain and screamed out in horror. Where did the song come if not from the water? I turned to the trees and beheld they were pale and had faces of men showing fear and betrayal. The rocks in the brook that I danced in had toes, and the stones I had tread had been fractions of bones. The brook was a trick, a distraction. I froze and I felt like a fly feels arachnids approach. The glopping of tissue met the gliding of sclera as I stared into the ungodly eye of Chimera. The demoniac behemoth, god of some forgotten fiendish evil proto-human genus thought, reeking with secretion rot, matted hair and sanguine teeth, sacrilegious layers, dragon spawn, blackened slugs, breathing acrid airs. I lost consciousness and woke by the road. I know I ought have not survived, and I'll own what I've sowed. I pray death take me if I ever reawaken. Let this cursed ringing be my song of self-annihilation.